Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista here on YouTube, and I am back from the Stitch New Jersey retreat for 2025. So I know I just did a video, but I have so much that I bought. I won. Yes, I did. I won 3 raffles, which was amazing. And just freebie table and what I stitched on that I wanted to come on here and show you guys all of it before I put it away, because once I put it away, wouldn't be getting it back out. But first, I checked my mail before turning on the camera, and I received a lovely gift from Harriet. And she says, "Hi Danielle, I'm sending you this token of my appreciation for all the years that you have helped me with crafts." Thank you so very much. And what she sent me was this wonderful mug that looks like, you know, a library. I love this. And I actually, it's funny, Harriet, that you sent me this right at this time, because when I go to my retreat in the fall, I'm going to experiment with bringing my own food and coffee instead of buying everything out. And I always have a little coffee pot in my room. So I'm going to bring like small coffee filters and coffee grounds and a mug. So I think I'm going to take this mug with me. So Harriet, thank you so very much. Absolutely love mugs for sure. Okay, if I'm a little bit disjointed in this video, there was a lot, you know, in the 4 days that I was there. But I will try my best to get through it all in an orderly fashion. So I always get there on Wednesday, and I know I've said this before, it just helps me acclimate better and wake up Thursday, the day of the retreat, start fresh. Well, I don't know what I was smoking or drinking or taking when I packed my stitching bag, because when we all sit down at 3 o'clock on Thursday and go to stitch, I didn't have needles, scissors, or a highlighter. The fuck? Like what? And it was funny because I was like, oh no, I don't have a highlighter. No, I think I first said, oh no, I forgot scissors. And Sherry, one of my table mates, was like, oh haha, did you forget needles? Motherfucker, like what? I did. I don't know what was happening. Like I have this little box here that I like to call my Stitcher's like emergency kit. I am keeping this in my stitching bag. This stuff is not leaving it, because then I will never have that issue. So I borrowed scissors from Sherry. Verna gave me a needle and gave us a table gift that included a highlighter. How fitting. Yeah. Remember, I bought those twistable colored pencils to use as marking my piece. Forgot all that shit. I don't know what was happening. I think I was so concerned with making sure I had the paper cut and the floss for my 6 projects, which I still forgot a floss color, which I will get to in a minute. I was so worried about that I don't know, but so there was a pop-up shop, you know, Needlework by Jim, who was the previous Needleworker's Delight. He had a pop-up shop in the hotel Friday and Saturday. So as soon as that opened, I bought needles, and I bought these really wonderful scissors that I love. Yeah, so those are staying. Those are staying in my little Stitcher's case, plus the pen that Arlene gave us in the retreat goodie bag. And the lip balm. She gives us lip balm every year, and that's staying in there too. But really, what is going to next year for raffle tickets, some people brought stick-on labels, and I thought that was so brilliant, because I bought about $50 worth of raffle tickets, or $80. It was a bunch. And to sit there and write my name on the back of all of these tickets was a lot. So, but okay. The goodie bag. So every year we also get a tote bag from Arlene. So this year's tote bag was this wonderful thing. It zippers. These pockets are Velcro. It says Stitch NJ 2025. Wonderful. So inside of it was a whole bunch of goodies. I'm not going to show you everything because a bunch of it was threads, although I do have the threads here. Let's see. Some Threadworks threads, which I absolutely love. These are Treenway silks, some Dinky Dyes silks, a Weeks Dye Works, which I got guacamole. She also includes a pin, which is very cool. She does give you a needle minder also, and it's on my board. I will show you. And she also gave us all a scissor fob, which I absolutely loved this. I'm usually not one to use scissor fobs, but I might use this. I might clip it right on those scissors right there. And of course, she designs something every year for the retreat as a retreat piece. So this year it was that. And she gives this is a round of applause. When someone has a finish, you normally hold it up. The whole room will hear someone starting to do this, and they will clap. So that was a pretty genius idea. And she also this year included stickers, which you know me in my sticker book. The emblem, this, and then one of the other stitchers, and I cannot remember her name. She was from Maryland. She came over and introduced herself because there weren't many of us from Maryland. It is like a tarot card, the stitcher. So all of those are going to go in my sticker book. And then Arlene also gave us this fan, like a table fan. Now, it was plenty cool in there. In the beginning, with everyone moving around, it was warm. But once you sat down and got ready and got like acclimated, I had my sweater on. It was frigid in there. So that was the beginning. That was all the goodies that we got. And Anne had given us, I'll have to show you when I get to like my whips because it's in there. I have a gift here that she sent us. But Grace Notes Fabrics was there. And they had a vendor day on Saturday where you could go in and purchase. Some people were there for project bags and needle minders, and I got all that stuff. I didn't buy any fabric, but she then walked around and gave all of us an ornament cut. And when I got home, I wound up signing up for her Fabric of the Month. I've never done that before from her. So yeah, I signed up for 14 count Aida because that is actually my preferred fabric. This is a really, I want to say this is like 40 count or something. Teeny tiny little holes. Okay, freebie table. So the freebie table is huge at this retreat. And I always wind up bringing some stuff home. A hoop. I'm going to have to move this stuff so I can get to other stuff. Then Verna, one of my table mates, gave me this 25 count blue Lugana, which I would actually do over 2. I wouldn't be stitching one on one 25 count. That's not me. So it would make it like 12.5 count. But then she gave me some perforated plastic. So 2 things of white and then black. And, you know, this stuff is really good for, my friend Lacey used to do what was called candle rounds, where you have a Yankee candle and she would stitch a band and it would be able to wrap around a candle. Yeah, I've never stitched on the plastic, but I'm sure it is just like the paper, except it's much more bendy, right? So very much appreciate that. Because you know I love the perforated paper. I also picked up these 2 things of 14 count Aida, white, because a lot of the Stitchrovia patterns that I have stitch on white. Okay, then I got some magazines and patterns. So this was a Little House Needleworks. This was a complimentary chart, but you could almost stitch it for 1 for each season. I like that. You can do your own colors. Primrose Cottage Stitches, No Place Like Home. I feel like I had this pattern before, but I couldn't find it, and so When I saw it, I was like, yes. It's So Emma. This is by Lori Holt. So she did. I've seen this one a couple times. Really, really like that. I think it's so cute and colorful. I really like that one. Sue Hillis, Merry Christmas. So the one I really like is the It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year, but I think it has all of those. No, it doesn't. I'm not smart. The pattern is not any of these. It's this. I'm going to be taking this in September and putting it on the freebie table, probably. I won't stitch that. I wanted this. I blame myself for not looking closely enough at that. Then this is a Stitchy Princess pattern. Really like that. Look at those bunnies. They're having dinner. Yeah. Then this was one of my favorite finds. My friend Christine let us look at their table stuff before they put it on the freebie table. So this is by Lee Fisher, Stitchy Fish Designs. Never ever underestimate the woman who practices stitchcraft. So all the black thread is in there, but look at this fabric. Look at that. It's like all hand dyed and beautiful, and yes. Now that looks teeny tiny, but we'll see. I just loved the design so much, and then I saw the fabric. You know me in color. I was like, I'm sold. And then McKenna brought over and showed me this book. A lot of cool bookmarks in there. There they are all in the back. She had seen this on the freebie table. There's literally so much there that it's hard to see it all. I love some of these. Absolutely. Definitely would stitch those. And then I grabbed a couple cross stitch magazines. So Just Cross Stitch from August 2020. Cross Stitch and Needlework from 2006, and then Cross Stitch and Needlework from 2013. This magazine is no more. So I saw those and saw some designs in there. And then I had seen this too. This is called Dynamic Florals, like, you know, DYE. It shows you how to dye your fabric by sponging it on. And I thought it was so cool. And you use Rit dye and 14 count white Aida. And I mean, it shows you how to do it step by step. So, and you know, one thing, there we go. I mean, you can obviously, you know, I don't like it's as modeled as that, but it's almost like, so Ann and I, one of my table mates, we also, there was a design in the Just Cross Stitch magazine, the most current issue, that showed, they stitched this silhouette. I'm like, do I have it that I can show you? I think I do. They stitched a silhouette, and then they used watercolors to, here it is. Okay, so there's the real design, right? But then they used watercolor paints to paint. And Ann and I were talking about it, and I was just curious, how do the watercolors not run outside of the stitching? Well, she had brought watercolors with her because Ann is a mixed media artist. She does all kinds of things. And she had brought watercolors with her, and we tested it out. If you don't put too much water on the brush, it won't go outside the stitch lines. So that's what we discovered. So I appreciate Ann bringing that and letting us like fool with that and try that out. It was a lot of fun to try that out. Okay, the stitching store. Well, first I bought project bags because I feel like I want to have more than one work in progress. And I know some of you will probably never think you would ever hear me say that, but there's so many things I want to work on. And so I was like, okay, I am going to get some project bags because I have given away all of mine a long time ago. And I had bought these two bags from Carrie Sews For You off of Etsy. And she actually included this, a coaster to keep your near your stitching chair. That's awesome. I will definitely use that. I will probably use this downstairs in my bedroom on my nightstand because I have one up here that someone made me. But I got, let me show you the 2 bags I got from her, which I absolutely love. This one's coffee themed. Look at that. Are you kidding me right now? And she even has like, it's a coffee cup. And then there's the whole back of it. I love that so much. And then I got this one that is, I want to see, what's the charm on it? Oh, the thing of books, no wonder. Like library. Here, and here's the back of it. I will link her Etsy store down below. And then the charm on it, the nail is, yeah, love that. Are you kidding? So I got those 2 from her. And then before I went to the retreat, when I ordered those 2 bags, I was looking, and I found 2 bags from, and I don't know if I'm saying this correct, Pinny and Tunney. It's Lynn. Her name is Lynn. I ordered 2 bags, and then Arlene had sent a post out on the Facebook group that was showing the vendors that were going to be there. And I saw that name and I went, oh my God, I ordered 2 bags from her. So I said, I wonder if she can bring them to the retreat. And she did. So the first one I got, Haunted Houses. Love that so much. And like I said, she was going to be a vendor at the retreat. So you know I bought more. And then this one. I love this one so much. The fabric is just beautiful. And one of my projects is in here, so I will be showing you guys. I will show you that in a second. So she had a deal. Each of these bags that I bought from her was like $24.82 on Etsy, which is very reasonable for a project bag. But she had a special at the retreat, 5 for $100, so $20 a piece. So of course I got 5. I'm set for project bags. I don't need to buy any more. Don't you love this? Oh my God. The back is exactly the same, but absolutely loved that bright yellow. Also I love the flowers, the florals. So got that one. Then a Christmas one, but like a different kind of Christmas one, not like blatantly Christmas, if you know what I mean. Then I got, and the back is the same, got this Halloween one. Love that. And then here's the back. Love the purple. You know me. Come on now. Love the purple. And then this one, just a plain sampler. But then Kim, who is one of Arlene's helpers at the retreat and really, really wonderful, she also sold bags. So she had, her bags were 2 for $60. So I bought 2 of hers. Alice in Wonderland. Come on now. Yeah. And then this green one, I just loved it so much with the lion and the flowers and love. So I'm set on project bags. I have quite a bit now. Okay. I need to put that aside so I remember to show you guys. And then I went and bought some stuff. I spent some money. I went and bought some stuff in the pop-up shop. And this was the bag they gave us, which was very cool. Okay, Sherry, who is Anne's daughter, Sherry also gave us some little treats. She gave us this lotion bar, which I absolutely love because it's not too greasy where it gets on your stitching if you use this. I need to probably put this in my little box right there. But she also gave us some thread drops, and then, you know, I don't remember what these called. They're like magnetic cable ties is what they are. So yes. Okay, what did I get from Jim? I did get some fabric. I got 2 patterns. Tiny Modernist, Eat, Stitch, and Be Merry. Really loved that one. Christmassy. Love that. And then Crafty Black Bonnet, Blue Bonnet, Black Bonnet. Crafty Blue Bonnet Design, So Lucky. I loved how the word lucky is outlined in green. Like it almost looks 3D. I really like that one. So those were the only patterns that I got. And then I got some fabric. I always like to look at his fabric. So this is an 18 count Aida Solo because I will stitch on 18 count Aida. I use one strand when I stitch on 18 count Aida. So this pretty neutral. Another piece of 18 count Aida. I really like this one. Reminds me of like a strawberry milkshake. And then another 18 count Aida. So I got quite a bit of 18 count Aida. Like that one. This is called Amber Wolves. The other ones, this was Jamaica Sunset, and then the other one was a solo, which means just a one-off. And then I saw this and just couldn't resist it. This is 28 count Jubilee in fuchsia. Look how bright and beautiful that is. You know what would look good on here is something that's like all in white. There was a couple patterns that Jill and I saw, and I think I know what I'm going to stitch on this when I get it. I came home and I ordered them from 123 Stitch, so I will show you guys later. And then I got a piece of just 28 count Lugana Ice Blue because I absolutely, Lugana is my favorite even weave fabric. Okay, so that was it for that, for buying from the store. My biggest purchase was all the project bags. All right, what did I work on? Now, I brought 5 projects, but I only worked on 2. Oh, I did purchase, let me show you. I did purchase some needle minders because the needle minders that came with the this board suck. They're not strong. They wouldn't even hold a needle. So I said, okay, I'm going to get some needle minders there to hold my pattern and all of that. So let me show you the ones that I have on here. I do love this board though. All right, so hello, my name is Hope, breast cancer. Spoiler alert, I don't care. I laughed like 10 minutes over this needle minder. This one says, I love Santa. Before coffee, after coffee. This is the Stitch NJ needle minder. And then this one Jill gave me. It says, no, you hang up. So if you're not aware, this is Ghostface from the Scream movies. And he would call people and then he would murder them. So, you know, the play on words is the fact that, you know, do you remember being a kid and being on the phone with your boyfriend or girlfriend and be like, no, you hang up first. No, you hang up. That's what, I laugh so hard, but absolutely my kind of humor. So these are going to stay on this board. I love these needle minders so much. So I got those. All right, projects that I worked on. The first one I worked on, and I have it in my handy dandy project bag, was the Fiddlesticks AU Reading Books Never Hurt Anyone. So I started with the word reading. Why not? Now, all of these words are supposed to be in blue, but it looked so similar to this that I decided to stitch them in black. So they stand out. And I'm stitching this on 14 count perforated paper. Where is it? Oh, it's in the other bag. Let me put something behind it. Okay, so I got the word reading done, and then I got the word books done in black, and then I started to stitch the one book. Well, this calls for a bunch of different colors because the books are very colorful. I mean, look at that. You can see how many, it was quite a bit of colors. So I'm stitching along, and I really had planned to just work on this one the whole time I was there because after you get everything set up, I didn't feel like pulling another project out. But I still had choices because I brought 5 with me. 5 new starts. I had nothing that I had started. I get to this and I'm like, oh, I need ecru. So I look through my thread. Where the fuck is ecru? Didn't bring it. Didn't motherfucking bring the thread. And I was just like, I went, oh. And everyone was like, what did you do now? Because, you know, didn't bring scissors, didn't bring needles, didn't bring a needle minder that worked. Didn't bring a highlighter. Like, what else did I not bring? Well, nobody in the immediate area right away had ecru. And I said, you know what? It's not a big deal. I'm just going to, I could have walked around and I'm sure someone had ecru, but I felt like the biggest dumbass, actually. So I'm like, this is why I brought other projects. So I pulled out another project. But what will be nice is, you know, I like to bring perforated paper projects when I go to a retreat because I'm not having to bring a stand, and holding paper in my hand is weightless. Like, it doesn't, yeah. So they're ideal. Well, and so I don't know about you, but when I put a project in a project bag, I don't just want to throw the bobbins in here. I want to put them in like another little bag, like a notions bag. Well, Anne, in her little gifties, gave us this bag. This is perfect. So it zippers here, all the floss is in here, minus ecru, which I need to fucking add in there. And then I have the pattern in here, believe it or not. And I had the paper. The paper would fit, it fits in here. It's not always going to do that, obviously, but it fit in here. And what I will probably do for paper that is too big for one of these bags, I'll do this. Where is it? I had all of my whips like sandwiched between two pieces of cardboard. It won't bend. But I asked her, Anne, where did you get these bags? And she had said Dollar Tree originally, but then she said Dollar General. And I was like, well, if you go to the Dollar Tree, everything from back to school is in there. So the following morning, me, Jill, and Verna at the crack of dawn, you know, right when Dollar Tree opened at 8 o'clock, we went to Dollar Tree and I did find them. So I bought as many as they had in this teal color, which was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That'll be plenty. But yeah, it is literally, Anne's bag is a tiny bit bigger. Maybe not. No, it's the same. But, and this is mesh. But I love the teal color. They also had, the teal color, and then they had like a dark blue, like primary color blue and like primary color red. I love the teal. So yeah, that was just brilliant. And she came through, man. The highlighter, the bag, like everything just worked. Okay, so that was my first work in progress that I did. And then what am I doing? I need to put this right back in this bag or I will not remember that. Actually, I need to keep it out so I remember to put the friggin' ecru thing in there. We're just going to set that right there. All right, so I had to pick another project to work on. And I'm like, you know what? For ease of my mental whatever, I had brought this project to work on in Sulky. The Stitcher Hood Mermaid Tales. I kept calling this Mermaid Reads a Book. Why? I do not know. Mermaid Tales, all one color. They used a DMC color, but I wanted variegated. So the variegated color I picked was, I need to actually, let me wind this on here very quickly because that's going to bug me. Bear with me. Hold, please. Was this color of Sulky, where it's like blues and dark blue and 2 shades of green and just screams mermaid, right? I love Sulky. I actually love Sulky on 18 count perforated paper because Sulky, the weight of one strand of this, and it comes off the spool right in a strand. The weight of one strand is like 1.5 DMC almost. For me, 18 count using 2 strands of 8 on 18 count, whether it's fabric or paper, too thick. One strand is almost too thin of DMC, but on Sulky, it's perfect. So here's my progress. I decided to outline part of it, outline a big section, so then I could just spend time filling it in. It seemed to take forever, but I got about half of it filled, and you know, the outline. But yeah, isn't that, it looks so much better in person. It looks much brighter in person. But I think that's going to look so amazing when it is done. So I actually, this to me, it was quite a bit. I worked on this the rest of the time. So I outlined that whole thing and then started just filling it in. And I was just going row by row. And I was also completing each stitch as I went along. Because when you work with over dyes, yeah, I mean, it looks so much brighter. Can you kind of see back here? It's beautiful. But when you do work with over dyed threads, if you do the half of the leg, you know, half of the X, and then come back and complete it, it's going to look completely different than doing each strand individually. And as stitchers, we know that. But if you want the different effect, you can do it that way. Okay, so those were the only 2 projects I worked on. Now, the last thing I have to talk with you about are the raffles. So Arlene donates the money to an animal shelter in her area, and every year we seem to surpass it, the amount that she gives them. And she has, it was like 100, it was either 192 or 196 items that were raffled off. Threads, fabric, stitching tools, gift certificates to 123 Stitch. She gave away a registration fee for next year. There was a quilt. I mean, there were just so many things. And I won the things I really wanted to win. I was stunned because even if I had won nothing, I still would have been glad about donating the money. Our table cleaned up. Our table did really good. So one of the raffles was for a set of Nerge hoops and the stand. Like there is a stand that they make to put the hoops in. Well, Jim at his pop-up shop, not Jim, nope, the other vendor. There was a vendor the other day that sold some Nerge hoops and Jill bought some. Well, she had put some tickets in the raffle. And she goes, watch me win that. And I said, well, I've wanted to always try them because they'll fit in a Lowry. A Lowry stand will hold anything. So I said, if you win it, give me the hoops, you keep the stand. If I win it, because I put some tickets in it and I didn't want the stand, I'll keep the hoops. I'll give you the stand. I won it. When they called my name, we couldn't believe it. So here are, it came with a set of 3, and I love the color pink. And these hold your fabric really, really tight. So I'm very excited to try this. I am really tempted to take my piece that I'm working on from the Just Cross Stitch magazine out of the Q-Snap and put it in one of these. I have to see if I have one that will fit it. So that was one auction. I keep wanting to say auction. It's not an auction. It was a raffle. Okay, the other one was for a Scentsy wax melt burner thing. I love wax melt burners. I have one in here, one in my office, one downstairs, one in my library. So it also came with these 2 scents, which are Simply Rose and Lush Gardenia. Now, I have not even opened up. We're going to see it together because I haven't opened it up yet. I just unpacked my stitching bag when I got home and put it right in here. I'm sure that's the plug to it. I think I'm going to put this one in my bedroom because I don't have anything like that in my bedroom. I don't have a tart burner. Actually, oh my God. I did not even put 2 and 2 together. I was meant to win this. It says Hope, Strength, and Love. It is breast cancer themed. Are you kidding me right now? I did not even realize that. Look at this. It's beautiful. Oh, that must be the light bulb in there, I guess. Look at that. Can you even, oh no. You know what's probably in this is the tray that goes on top. Is the light bulb not in here? I have to see. Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely. See all the little breast cancer ribbons? Absolutely love that. Let me open this up. I'm really curious because I've never owned a Scentsy one. I've always owned like a Amazon one. There is no light bulb. Or is there? Wait a minute. Oh, it's right here. I'm a liar. Don't believe me. Here's the light bulb that heats it up. So this is the light bulb. This is the little tray. I love it. It's huge. I love it so much though. I cannot wait to see what this looks like lit up. It's going to light up and you're going to be able to see all that. Can I plug it in and show you? Do you want to see it? Let's plug it in. I don't know how accurate it's going to come across on here, but I did not even realize that that was breast cancer themed. I think that was so hilarious. I got a plug right here. Let me see if I can plug it in. Why does this want to be difficult? Okay. I'm a doofus. Danielle, need to put the light bulb in it for it to light up. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Hold, please. Oh, you see it starting to come on? Because I clicked it on. It's beautiful. You can't really tell. You can't really tell. It's really, really pretty though. Like you can see that it's almost ombre, like the pink and the white. Why did I think? See how you can see the pink and then there's white? Very, very nice. Absolutely love that. Cannot believe that I didn't realize that it was breast cancer related. Okay, the last thing that I won, and my favorite thing that I won. Every year, now she wasn't at the last year's retreat, but she was the year before, and Terry and I tried to win the kit. Marianne Eck, she dyes her own fabric for the most part, I'm pretty sure. She dyes a piece of fabric, gets a Mirabilia chart, and kits it up. So she puts the fabric in there, all the floss, all the beads. When I saw this, I haven't stitched a Mirabilia in a really long time. But when I saw this, I put the most of my tickets in this. And I won it. When they said my name, I screamed. As did most of the people that knew. There was a bunch of people that knew that I wanted it. Our whole table went crazy. So, I'm going to stitch this. So, let's take a peekity peek at it. It's beautiful. The pattern is pretty in pink. Can you even? How big is this? So it calls just for DMC and then 3 beads. It is 11.5 by 12.25 on 32 count. I'm not sure what this fabric is that she that she dyed. But it is beautiful. I mean, look at this. Love it so much. It looks like it's Lugana or Joblin or Jubilee. I mean, this will look really, really pretty on this. They used pink sand, but I think it's it actually smells really good. It's going to look really good on here. And I am definitely going to stitch this with this fabric. How can I not? I was just so stunned that I won it. And I thank Marianne for donating this stuff. So here are the beads. And I mean, yes, I have the entire set of DMC, but I will use this floss. Why wouldn't I? And you know what's funny? We were talking, so I think it was it Verna that mentioned it? Somebody at our table was talking about they knew someone who didn't keep a stash of projects or thread. What they did, and I guess if you're really short on space, I mean, I'm blessed to have this craft room. They bought the floss that they needed for that project. They stitched it, tossed the floss, then just bought their next project. So they never had to worry about storing patterns, fabric, floss. They didn't buy more than one thing at a time. That is huge restraint. Because I don't know about you, I love all cross-stitch stuff, fabric, thread, patterns, project bags. Like, I don't know anybody who has just like one thing. But I admire that person. But yeah, I have a giant mess now to clean up. But that was all of my stitching and purchases. And it was such a wonderful weekend. Already looking forward to next year. It is always just such a good time. And Jill was able to go this time, so that was a treat to have my very, very best friend there that I haven't seen in person in like 2 years. We talk almost every day by Facebook Messenger, but to see her in person, and we laughed so hard. So one of the, I'll tell you this and then I'll let you go because this is 40 minutes. I usually never do a 40-minute video. There was a piece of fabric that was one of the raffles, and it was, I want to say it was by Grace Notes Fabric, whoever it was. The title of it was called We Can't Elope, like as in eloping to get married. And when I went up there and saw it, because we walked up there numerous times to look at the raffles, there was that much stuff. I didn't understand the name, and I'm like, that just doesn't make sense to me. But I didn't say anything to anybody. Well, Jill won the fabric in the raffle. And when it was sitting on the table, I looked at it. And the fabric is orange, right? Like a really beautiful orange color. And then a light bulb went off in my head. We can't elope, cantaloupe, like the fruit. I busted out laughing, and she's like, what are you laughing at? And when I told her, I said, I just got the title of that fabric. And she's like, I can't with you. I laughed for like 5 minutes. I was just, wow, that just didn't click. How genius though was that? Yeah, we can't elope. But, okay, I promise you this is the last thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to go. A lot of people at the retreat had what's called a retreat mat, where it was like this quilted mat that had like a felt spot for your thread. It had a little ort container, and it lets you put it out on the table, and then you can set all of your stuff on top of it. I was obsessed. I really liked them, and a bunch of people had one. So when I came home last night, I found one, and I bought it. So I'm going to be able to take it with me in September, because I'm going to Ocean City in September. So, but definitely going to be using that retreat mat next year for sure. But okay, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you enjoyed seeing everything. And if you ever have the chance to go to a retreat, please do. It is amazing and wonderful to get in a room with a bunch of people that enjoy the same thing that you do. And my dad, so he messaged me and was like, what project are you working on? Send me a picture. And I wound up walking around because he was like, is anybody else working on anything cool? And I said, Dad, everybody's working on everything cool. Everything everybody's working on is cool. So I walked around and explained and took like 20 different pictures and sent them to him and showed him. He was like, wow, that looks like it takes a long time and all that. Yeah. But like-minded stitchers, people who enjoy the same things that you do, it is truly a treat if you are able to go to one. I hope you all are having a great summer. Whenever you watch this, I hope you are having a good day or evening, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.